Hey. So, today's video is about having uncomfortable conversations. This is a question that keeps coming to my DM over and over again, and we thought, why not record a video, keep it here for you guys, because we've also learned over time. It's not like we've perfected it, but I bet we've gotten the hang of it. Haven't we, baby?
Maybe.
We're getting the hang of it. We had an uncomfortable conversation last week, so this is even still fresh in our minds. Hi Daisy, how are you doing? We skip to the main part. I realized that my husband and I don't have uncomfortable conversations. I don't know why. I keep trying to bring things up, but he brushes them off. He's an extreme choleric and I am melancholic. So I find myself unhappy most of the times, not because he's a bad person, but I feel like I keep a lot bottled in. I stay at home, so I don't have a social life. I honestly don't know what to do or where to start from. I've been wanting to ask you, but I've been scared. Please help guide me and keep this in confidence. Babe, you go first. Some tips.
I don't have tips per se, but I think it's important to know your personalities. And it's good that you know your personalities. Melancholics, cholerics, phlegmatics, sanguines. Actually, maybe
We can start from sharing ours.
Put a link so you can find out your personality. It's very important.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put a link in the description on how you can find out what your temperament is.
Yes.
For our situation, I am melancholic choleric, and you are?
Phleg, I think.
He's phleg melancholic. So for my personality, I like things perfect. I like cholerics, especially like things done there and then. Like if I say do this, let's do it now. Like you're an action person. If the house needs cleaning, where are we starting? When are we starting? It's not tomorrow, and I want them done perfectly. So I feel like
and they don't like being corrected.
Yeah, and I don't like being corrected. Well, the phlegmatics.
And they also have a bit of I'm always right.
Yeah.
So they feel like what they're doing is right and it's not negotiable.
It makes sense. It makes sense. The world needs our help. The phlegmatics are cool, calm, collected. You tell him, you know what, babe, let's do this. It's like, we'll do it. You keep waiting. We'll do it.
But that's the negative. But usually they don't. It's difficult for them to say no.
Yeah, it's difficult for them to say no. They take their time to process things, and I have learned over the past 5.5 years that we do need phlegmatics in our lives, because there would be so many mistakes that I would have made had it not been for my husband asking us to take a pause and just think about it. So it's important, first of all, to know what your temperaments are, what your personality types are, because then you will know why your person reacts the way that they do. So you find that in this situation, the choleric husband wants to have conversations there and then. And then when you want to sit down with him, he doesn't have the time. Like he has planned out his time, and he doesn't have the time to sit down and talk to you. Or he thinks he's right, so he doesn't even want to hear you out. You being married to a choleric, babe, what tips do you have for?
I think it's different. Wife? It's different for us because we kind of understood each other before we got married. But I think maybe this is a very interesting one because it's a combination of two very perfectionist kind of
temperaments.
Temperament. So I think the best would be, because melancholics are perfectionists, cholerics are very good with facts. So if you can agree, it will be very easy because of the personalities. Maybe agree, say every Saturday or every Tuesday at about 2 p.m. Let's go for lunch, or let's have this time together every week without fail.
Yeah.
So because of the personalities and the way they are, that meeting will happen every week. So meet and just lay all the guard down and just chat. Chat, and don't start with the problems. Just talk and say, there's this thing I've been thinking about. What's your saving kind of discipline? Or what do you think about us buying a big TV, a bigger one? Because the one we have is only 5 inches. So can we get something of like maybe 100 inches or something, so that maybe when the kids' friends come, or when we're watching a movie, it's like we're in the cinema, so we don't have to go to the cinema, or that kind of thing. So I think
come with facts.
When you meet together, it's the first thing. It's to have a scheduled time, maybe where you can have just the two of you to talk, because I think you say she stays home.
Yeah, she.
So it means that now you need to schedule time when there are no kids, no distractions,
no home duties.
Yeah. Just talk. Like find the perfect time to talk, and then bring in one at a time. Phase it, because if I tell you, what's your saving scheme like? So what do you think about land?
Like it shouldn't be an interview.
So
it should be a conversation.
What do you think about the nation? How do you think we should?
Yeah. And then I like that tip, babe, about setting aside time for you to actually talk. Like, if we're going to have uncomfortable conversations that really need our time, then set aside time for it. Don't just ambush somebody, because they won't be in the mood. Their mind is preoccupied by something else, and you won't get the attention that you want. And then I would also say, when you're coming up to this conversation, lay all your guards aside. So don't come with pride. Don't come with preconceived notions. Come with an open mind. Come in all humility to listen to your person. There'll be things that you'll be told that you will not agree with, but you have to acknowledge the fact that this is how your partner feels. Whether or not that's the feeling that you intended for them to have when you did whatever it is that you did, this is how they feel, and those feelings are valid. So come ready to be humble enough to say, you know what, I'm sorry. When I did this is what I intended, but I'm sorry that it made you feel XYZ. Yeah? So lay your guards down, be humble before one another, and be ready to be vulnerable, because you're doing life with this person. If you're not going to be vulnerable with them, then who are you going to be vulnerable with? And you not being vulnerable is going to affect the conversation, because you're holding back a lot, and you're forever going to be there, uncomfortable, in limbo. Nothing is happening because you just can't let loose. Do you have another one, babe?
The last one would be 2 things. One, what is that thing that you used to do that used to connect the two of you before you got married? Is it still happening, or can you replay it? Secondly and lastly is, from a man's perspective, let's say you decide to meet out of home, maybe at whatever place. Make sure you look really beautiful. I don't know, put on whatever
knock him off his socks.
Perfume or whatever.
Knock the socks off.
Be touchy or whatever. And then see what happens.
Yeah.
And then talk, like, face it, because I guess cholerics love affirmation. So tell them, hey, I like this and this and this. You're doing really awesome. We're happy and that. What do you think about maybe we do this or that?
I like that you say phase it. So if, say, you have a number of uncomfortable conversations to have, don't decide to have all of them at the same time, because it will be overwhelming, and some of them really attack someone's ego and pride. So maybe phase it out. And I also like to use the sandwich method. So you start, no one is 100% bad. there are some things that they have done right. So start by affirming the things that they have done right. Then you can comment on the things that you feel could be better, things that need changing, and then you also end with another affirmation. It's easier for someone to receive that kind of criticism than the hey. My last tip is listen, and don't listen while formulating what your rebuttal is going to be, but actually listen to your person, listen to where they're coming from, actually listen to what they are saying. I cannot stress this enough. Many times someone is talking to you, pouring out their hearts, and your mind is thinking about work. Your mind is thinking about kids, the child crying or whatever. But actually be in that moment, listen to them, no phones, no distractions. So whatever place that you choose to have these conversations, make sure it's a safe place, you're both very comfortable, and be ready to listen to your partner. It will be easy to have. I know it sounds tough, uncomfortable conversations, but it's actually not that tough. And I've remembered one last one. I remember when we were starting out this conversation, us having these conversations as a couple, many times I find myself crying, and it's just an unnatural response. But I have learned to sometimes try and hold back those tears. It's difficult, especially now that I'm pregnant. The hormones are the ones that have taken over my body. So try as much as possible not to use tears, because tears are disarming for the men, especially like, now she's crying. Let's just not, yeah? So try as much as possible not to use tears. Try as much as possible to hold them back. If they do come, like, reassure him. Just tell him, you know what, I can't control this, but don't let the tears distract you, and actually have the conversation. Yeah.
So now it's time to deal with the kids.
Yeah, now we're going to deal with the kids. I know that this will be helpful to everybody. Please share it, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and yeah, keep coming back to this video if you need a refresher. Bye.